So I just spent the last few hours breaking down all of these guys' funnel in detail and kind of like laying everything out on this board today. So I wanted to break everything down in detail, show you guys exactly what these guys are doing to obviously make a lot of money selling their information online. And I obviously don't know exactly how much these guys are making. I know William Brown makes around 500, 600K a month. Jordan Walsh with his new offer, I think makes around 200K. He's spoken about that in his videos. These guys honestly probably make a little bit more. I'm not sure exactly, but you get the point. Like they make a lot of money selling info, and this is exactly what they're doing. Everything broken down in detail. So if you have a mentorship, a coaching program, whatever, and you're looking to scale it up, I think you're gonna get some value from this video. Just looking at what some of the top guys in the industry are doing currently. So with that being said, let's get into it. So first of all, I'm going to show you kind of like the basics of the funnel, then break down everything in detail, and then show you a little bit more, a little bit more in detail, kind of like exactly what the actual intention of what they're doing is about, and then how they come up with video ideas, how they do all of the tracking and stuff like that. So number one is going to be the funnel. Obviously, everything they do is very intentional. So they're trying to get as much traffic from the right people as they can, nurture that traffic over time, give them value, stuff like that, and then obviously converting them and booking them in for calls and then selling them on their high ticket program. All of these guys do high ticket coaching, right? So 2K, 3K, 4K, 5K, 10K plus to work with them. And essentially this is what they do, right? So not every single person on this list is going to do exactly this, but this is like the principle that they all follow. So not every single person does short form, for example. All of them do YouTube, so like long form. And yeah, you'll get the point in just a second. But traffic on short form, right? Short form is really good because you're able to just pump out a lot of videos, get a lot of traction on TikTok, Instagram, stuff like that, and then you can funnel that traffic, even YouTube Shorts, back into your long form YouTube videos where you're able to give more value and kind of like explain a little bit more in detail your client results, how everything works, just basically warm people up to actually be able to convert into the sales process, which would be through an appointment setter or even just self-booking through a VSL where they give some information in a video, they kind of like tie you into being really interested in booking in a call, and then from there obviously qualify you, and then you end up booking a call on your own. Or through an appointment setter on Instagram, they have a conversation with you and then end up obviously trying to book you in for a call as well. And then also with email, getting you on an email list where they're able to market to you even more, stuff like that. So like I said, not every single person follows this to a T, but most of them do some sort of variation to this. And then even on TikTok, just getting people back to Instagram, because TikTok is not really the best place to convert people. It's better to get people over to Instagram where you're able to use stories, have a conversation with people, stuff like that. So with that being said, that's kind of like the overview. So again, they're just trying to get traffic, nurture that traffic, and then convert that traffic. And as you can see here, the know, like, and trust factor. So people need to know who you are, like you enough, and trust you, so they actually feel confident in ending up becoming a customer of yours, right? People don't just buy from strangers. They buy from people they know, like, and trust, and they actually believe that you can get them results, and even just liking you as a person, because people buy from people. So if you're not likable, even though your offer is super good, it's going to be kind of challenging to get customers. So just being very aware of like actually being yourself, actually having like a likable personality, not trying to be somebody you're not, but actually being very like raw and authentic, which you're going to be able to see once I break these guys down. All of them are basically doing this thing, right? They're very organic. They don't really do too much editing or too much fancy stuff. They keep it very raw, very simple, and people tend to like that even more. So this is like the three stages of their organic funnel. And when it comes to the three stages, it's the top of the funnel, the middle of the funnel, and the bottom of the funnel. On the top of the funnel, that's basically where they're trying to go kind of like a little bit viral in their own niche. So again, they're not trying to attract just anybody, but they're trying to attract people that would potentially end up becoming customers, right? So this could be, if you're in ecom, you can make lifestyle stuff, talking about ecom, talking about how to change your life, how much money you're making with ecom, stuff like that. Just getting new people into your ecosystem essentially. The middle of the funnel would be more niche content. So specifically kind of what you teach. So this can be, for example, if you teach high ticket dropshipping, this can be how to, make 20K a month profit with branded dropshipping or 100K or whatever. If you're a trader, you can speak about your specific thing. Just kind of warming people up to you as a person and what specifically you have to offer people. And then the bottom of the funnel would be when they're actually watching your sales assets, when they're watching your VSL, maybe they're speaking with your setter, stuff like that. This would be kind of like where the conversion happens, right? So this is like the 3 buckets. So let me actually go and break down these guys' funnel, exactly what they do. And then, like I said, I'm going to break down in a little bit more detail, just like behind the scenes, what's actually going on. So when it comes to TJR here, as you can see, YouTube, IG, that's like the main 2 platforms. He also does TikTok, but again, just breaking down like the basics. As you can see here, he just makes very simple videos. Like it's not really anything crazy. As you can see, these are probably lives as well. As you can see here, lives. So he's just having a lot of videos where he explains like his stuff. He's being himself. He's not trying to be anybody else. He's just like being very raw, very uncut. And as you can probably imagine, these videos don't have too much editing and stuff in them. So he just gets a lot of people to, as you can see here, 69K views, 63K views. And people that watch him are most likely going to be traders or interested in getting into trading. So he just, gets a lot of people that would be his ICP or his ideal client profile to watch these videos. And obviously, this is a very good way to do marketing because you don't spend any money on ads. You just get people organically to opt in. You even make money if you get, big videos on YouTube. So that's like number 1. Number 2 in his description, as you can see here, he has 3 links. The first one is to his mentorship, which essentially is a squeeze page where he gets you to opt in with email to watch a training video. From there, you watch the video. This video is obviously intentionally designed to get you to click the button below and book in a call with his team to see if you would be a good fit to learn from him in his mentorship. From there, you click the button. You have to obviously go through a form so he qualifies you, sees if you're a good fit to actually book in a call, to not waste time on, jumping on calls with people that wouldn't be a good fit. And then from there, you're able to book in a call. I wasn't actually able to because there's no times in May and it didn't really open up the next month. But I would imagine from here, if you book in a call, he has a last page with some information about the call. And he probably has some client, results and stuff to kind of warm you up before the actual sales call. So that once you show up, you know what this is about, his client results, and you're more likely to actually end up buying. And then the second link is he has a low ticket program actually. So he has a huge audience, obviously, and there's probably a lot of people that wouldn't be a good fit for this one. So he has a low ticket program as well. So that's just, get people onto his monthly WAP subscription. And then the third link is going to be for his freebie basically. So he has a free course. And then the intention here is obviously 2 things. Number 1, he gets your email, he gets your phone number. So he's able to market to you on email and, text, whatever, probably maybe even has somebody calling you if you opt in. And then the second thing obviously is he gives a lot of value in this program. So if you end up getting a lot of value from him, chances are that you are going to like him more. You're going to end up watching more of his content, and at some point in the future, be more likely to actually end up joining his mentorship. And then these links, probably just some affiliates and stuff like that. So that's TJR. When you come over to Jordan Walsh, this is like his new channel. As you can see, it's not the main channel, but this is the channel that he has made when it comes to his new high ticket offer, which is helping people grow on YouTube and basically get more customers from YouTube. Again, very raw, very uncut stuff. He doesn't really have a thumbnail or anything like that. It's a little bit intentional. Like he does have a thumbnail, but it's not really anything fancy. And the only fancy thing is like his headlines, right? So we're going to be speaking about this because the way he does his research is basically what all of these guys are doing to come up with the video ideas, the thumbnails, the headlines and everything to actually get a lot of traction on YouTube specifically. And then from there, obviously he has his link to his VSL. You watch the VSL. From there, you click a button to apply. And he doesn't really have a booking link. He just has an application. So you need to be a good fit and he would basically reach out to you if you are, right? So he doesn't really have, a second link and a third link, but the principle still stands. He has a VSL, he gets traffic to his YouTube. And then from there, if you're an interested buyer, you can book in a call or you can apply to basically jump on a call with him. William Brown, again, he has a little bit more complex stuff, but it's again the same principle. He makes these very raw, unfiltered, videos just talking to his ideal clients. And again, just being intentional with the headline, not so much the thumbnail or anything, just being, creative, but not really having too much effort put into it. And again, just building a lot of, like, giving a lot of value and everything like that. And then as you can see in his description, he has a bunch of links. So I would actually not really recommend having this many links, because as you can probably see, it's a little bit confusing and you kind of need to like choose what to click on. If you just have one link or just like 2-3 links, it's a little bit easier to kind of like redirect people to where you want them to go. But obviously he has a bunch of different offers and everything, so it kind of makes a little bit more sense. He has a huge audience as well. But the first link is for his main program, which is, obviously the high ticket one. And it's a VSL, booking a call. From there, if you actually do end up booking in a call, you get to a video explaining the next few steps, and then also a lot of social proof. And then from there, he redirects you back to his testimonials channel, where he has a bunch of testimonials. This is just to warm you up before the call, right? So you're, again, more likely to actually end up purchasing when you're on the call. And then if you try to leave any of these pages, he gets you to basically follow him on Instagram with like a pop-up. So if you try to leave the page with your like clicker, he would basically ask you to follow him on Instagram. And then from there, obviously through his Instagram, he posts stories. He's very active with reels and stuff. And the intention here is just, if you try to leave the page, you go back to his Instagram, you probably see some of his stories. Maybe you DM him for some sort of resource, or you see all of the social proof, stuff like that. And then maybe you watch some of his reels. He has a call to action in all of these reels to basically get people to comment a word for him to send you an asset. Usually the asset is just like a YouTube video he's made, so he gets you back to YouTube again. And then obviously also he has an appointment setter on here. So when you comment the word free, he automatically sends you a message with a video. And then from there, you're in his DMs, and the appointment setter is able to continue the conversation and kind of qualify you, see if you're a good fit, see if you would be, interested in his program, and then book you in for a call. So everything is very intentional. And then from there, he also has some links to, as you can see here, this is like low ticket, like book basically. And obviously from here, the intention is, number one, he gets your email, he gets your contact information. And number two, people buying his ebook probably gets a lot of value from the ebook. They probably are more likely to want some more value and potentially book in a call with him later down the line. And then he has his newsletter. He then has just a like page basically explaining his story, who he is, his authority, stuff like that. And then he has a pitch to his mastermind. So getting mastermind tickets for the upcoming mastermind in Dubai or Bali, whatever. So as you can see here, everything is very intentional. And then he also does the same on Twitter or like X. So he has these posts, gets you to comment, and then he sends you back to his YouTube with a video. And he probably also has an appointment setter that would continue the conversation after you request the actual asset and you comment. He sends it to you, the appointment setter picks up the conversation. So as you can see, everything is very intentional. And basically all of these, the main like thing is to get you back to here, or basically booking in a call. And that's how he makes, over 500K a month selling this program. So with that being said, that's William Brown. When we go over to Mark Builds Brands, it's the same thing. As you can see here, same type of thumbnails, very simple, kind of clickable. This this theme is going very crazy at the moment. A lot of people do this and they get a lot of views doing so. So as you can see, again, very intentional with the headlines, just attracting the right people. Fuck it, $0 to $1,000 a day with branded dropshipping. Obviously, everybody watching this video would be interested in dropshipping. So he has basically 8.2K leads watching his videos. And yeah, all of his videos is basically the same theme. And then as you can see in the description, first link, it's not a VSL, so it's not a video in this case, it's just an application. So he qualifies you. From there, you're able to book in a call. Once you've booked, he has like a information page. And from there, obviously, you jump on a call and he's trying to close you into his, or like get you into his program. And then from there, he has a document. So he doesn't really get your email on this. It's just the actual Google document, like linked, but he has a pitch back to the VSL. So you open up the document, you get some value. You're thinking like, shit, this guy knows what's up. And then you probably end up clicking on this link and you're going through his funnel again. The last link, or the last two links, this is probably I don't know what this is, probably some affiliate, whatever. And this is for his software as well. But to Instagram and his Telegram. So Telegram just gets a lot of people in here. As you can see, almost 2K people. He posts all of his YouTube stuff and, you know, when he's going live and stuff like that, which is kind of the same thing as doing on Instagram. And he does lives, right? So he just gets people, same as TJR, he gets people to watch you for a really long time, or he gets people to watch him for a really long time, with, you know, Q&As, just like live walkthroughs. He's able to answer your questions, and he just, again, builds up a lot of the know, like, and trust factor. And he probably, again, has the link to the application in his description of the lives. So it's the same thing. And then also, as you can see here, he's pinning the comment for his application. So again, just doing as much as he can to get people back to this page and apply, and then booking a call with his team, and hopefully end up purchasing his actual mentorship so they can get help and, you know, become profitable with ecom, whatever. So that's basically how it works. I didn't really touch on this, but, you know, TJR does the same thing on Instagram. He has the link to his VSL here, and then he has a link to his you know, free training here. And then obviously on here, he just posts a lot of testimonials, social proof, stories, you know, reels, getting a ton of traction, as you can see here as well. Links back to the VSL. So everything is like designed to get people back onto here. And that's basically the breakdown. So let me break this down in a little bit more detail so it makes a little bit more sense, you know, talking about stories, short form, long form, like what does this actually mean? Like what is their actual process for making this happen? So on stories, like obviously not every single person does as many stories as other people, stuff like that. But like the principle is just posting a bunch of stories. Again, building up the know, like, and trust factor, building up your authority, showing social proof from students or even yourself, insights, personal stuff, you know, stories, connection, whatever, like just basically getting people to watch you on a regular basis. And then from there, they use stories to post call to actions. So some examples of this would be, for example, a story sequence where you have a few different stories in a row, ending with a call to action and starting with a hook, right? So as you can see here, finally open up some seats for the program for agency owners doing 10 to 30K per month. Blah, 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 talks about the benefits, talks about probably some social proof, and then DM me 30K. So the intention here is obviously getting people to DM him where he would have an appointment setter. So he gets the DMs, the appointment setter picks up the conversation, and from there, they book them in for a sales call. The same here, as you can see, do you have an iPhone or a laptop? Obviously, yes. Are you interested in 3 to 5x in your net worth over the next 18 months? Obviously, yes. And then from here, DM a crypto, and the same thing goes on. Here as well, Jack Hopkins, blah, 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 story sequence ends with a call to action to the VSL. And then what you can also do in stories is just having a little bit more soft call to actions. So you can do, for example, a, you know, ask me anything, a poll, stuff like that. Just getting people to take an action on your stories, and you would have the appointments that reach out to these people. And you can also have the appointments that are just reaching out to people watching your stories. Because if you have a lot of people watching you on stories daily, chances are these people are following along, they are interested in whatever you do, and they would probably be, you know, decent leads to reach out to. So just doing outbounds to story views are good as well. So that's basically what these guys do. I was going to say, see TGR as well, just posting student wins, everything that, you know, you can do to build up the know, like, and trust factor, and having an appointment that are reaching out to these people. And, you know, the intention would be to book them into a call. When it comes to short form, like I've said, it's just like simple, you know, stuff. It can be clipped up from YouTube. It can be, you know, just raw stuff like TGR does, or it can be like William Brown does. They're just like clipping stuff from his podcasts, having an editor clean it up, and then having a call to action in the actual videos to get people to comment the word free, for example. And then from there, they would obviously end up in the DMs where he would have an appointment setter trying to book you in. So again, it's just like posting reels, you know, 1 to 2 per day, as many as you can, whatever. Some people do like 5 to 10 a day. Some people do 1 a day. It doesn't really matter too much. Like obviously the more you post, the more traffic you're going to get, the more chances you are to reach new audiences and get new people into the funnel. But again, clipping YouTube content, scripted stuff, you can even like script it up, be very intentional with what you're saying in the video, or like more raw stuff. And again, the point is to get more people in, so get more traffic, nurture that traffic, and then convert that traffic with, for example, as you can see here, call to actions, getting people into the DMs, stuff like that. And then the actual automation here. So when people, request the resource, this first message is automated. And then you can use ManyChat. You can also get people to opt in with an email list to actually get this thing. And then again, it would funnel back to the appointment setter, which would talk with you in the DMs, see if you're interested, see if you're qualified. What struggles do you have? Do you want help with those struggles? Cool, let's book in a call, X, Y, and Z. And the appointment setter would obviously be disguised as the client. So you would think you're speaking with William Brown when in reality you're speaking with an appointment setter, or stuff like that. And again, with the Reels, you can just repurpose these to YouTube Shorts, to TikTok. You can use repurpose.io. So every single time you post on Instagram, it automatically gets posted to YouTube and TikTok. And this is just free traffic, free subs. And again, you funnel everything back to Instagram, where you have an appointment setter. That's basically it. And then when it comes to like Instagram stuff, it's very simple. Like I said, it doesn't really matter what you do specifically. Just find something that works for you. But the point of the video is just to hook the right people in, build interest in the video, obviously to get them to actually watch the video, give them the value or whatever they came for. And then this is kind of the same thing, the main payoff, whatever they came for, and then having a call to action at the end. So very simple stuff. But again, when it comes to YouTube, 1 to 2 times per week, like it doesn't really matter. You can do daily, like whatever works for you. But essentially the point is to make videos consistently, have 3 links. As you can see, most of these guys kind of follow the same structure. They have the VSL, they have some sort of like a free lead magnet, and they have back to Instagram where you can have a conversation with them. So when it comes to this, it would be the VSL. The call to action inside of the VSL would obviously be to book in a call with the team. And then you have a free resource. You get people on an email list. The call to action on the VSL, or like on the email list, would be to watch the VSL or whatever that would be. And again, intentional to get you back on a call. And then on Instagram, again, it would be the same thing, just getting people to engage with your content on Instagram, have an appointment setter, he would reach out to you, stuff like that. And then on YouTube, the framework is pretty simple. Again, it's just like the packaging. So the idea of the video, is it a good idea? Is this idea going to actually attract the right people? The title, obviously, is this going to be appealing to my audience? And the thumbnail, is this going to be something that, these guys would actually click on? And then obviously the actual video would be, again, the hook, the intro, the actual value of the video, and then the call to action at the end. And that reminds me, if you are a coach, if you have a program, if you're looking to start one, if you have a mentorship, anything like that, and you want to kind of like build or scale an info product, and you don't really want to worry about all of these, details and the funnel and the appointment setting and sales and everything like that, and you just want a system implemented into your business so you can focus on content and stuff like that, you can book in a call in the description below with myself, and we can see, if this is something we can help you with. So just a humble pitch there. But with that being said, as you can see with all of these guys that I've shown you today, this obviously depends on the niche. But in like this type of niche where it's like make money online or, information videos at the moment, a lot of them do very well with just, having simple thumbnails, just an intentional like headline. And obviously the video needs to be good. But as you can see here, all of these are the same example with like a very simple thumbnail, intentional headline. And as you can see here also, they have like a really good X. So this basically means that this video did 94 times better than the channel average, which I'm going to touch on in just a second when we speak about, how to come up with the video ideas and everything. So as you can see here, like the theme is the same, like people just making very simple videos, getting a lot of traffic, stuff like that. And again, in the description, just having the 3 call to actions, 1 for the VSL, 1 for a free resource, get people on an email list. And then the 3rd would be to get people back to Instagram, where you would have an appointment setter, reaching out to people watching your stories, engaging with content, stuff like that. And then obviously with the actual email list, you can have a flow, but a newsletter is probably, the best thing to do, because you're able to actually update this in real time every single week or multiple times a week. You can write an email, send it out to all of your subscribers, stuff like that. And a good example of this is William Brown. He's very active on email with email marketing. And obviously the stuff he does on email is just giving value, sharing stories, sharing social proof. Any new videos that he has on YouTube, he releases to his email list as well to obviously get more people to click the YouTube video, watch it, and then in the video he has a call to action, booking a call, blah, blah, blah. And then he just balances value and call to actions. So he doesn't like spam you with call to actions all the time, but he kind of balances, you know, giving value and stuff like that. Because if you only do call to actions, people are just going to be unsubscribing if it's just like, hey, booking a call, booking a call. So he, you know, actually gives value. He shares social proof, and people actually want to end up sticking around for the email list. But again, the intention is to get you to booking a call. So you have value-driven emails, social proof emails. As you can see here, meet my client Timothy, and he just speaks about, you know, Timothy's experience working with him, how much he made before, how much he makes now, stuff like that. And, you know, obviously ends with a call to action. Story email, you know, if you have any stories, anything that you've experienced, insights, stuff like that. And then conversion emails, which, you know, basically becomes any email that you have a call to action or, you know, drive traffic to, for example, your VSL or whatever that would be. And a good idea to just write good emails is just opt into a bunch of newsletters and just read what other people are doing in the email space, and you're going to be able to find a lot of different things that you can emulate as well. Same with YouTube, just watching these videos, you're going to be able to find the good ones that you can actually emulate, which I'm going to talk about again over here. But that's like the last thing is going to be lives, right? So TGR does this, Mark Builders Brands does this. Not everybody does this, but it's a very good way to just get people to watch you for a really long time. So you can do TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, whatever. And just having Q&As, giving value, and build up the know, like, and trust factor. Because if people can stick around for, as you can see here, for like over an hour, just watching you, asking you questions in real time, stuff like that, it's going to really get them to, you know, open up to you and be more likely to potentially buy from you if they like you and if you have a good offer, obviously, stuff like that. And then in the actual VSL, if it's hosted on YouTube, whatever, you would have just like the VSL booking a call to action in the description. Or you can also, if you do, for example, link like on Twitter or on Instagram or TikTok, whatever, you could have a, you know, comment call to action or DME call to action, and you could have an appointment setter, again, reaching out to people from the live that would take that action. So that's, you know, more broken down in detail what this actually means with stories, short form, long form, everything like that. So I hope that makes sense. But how do these guys actually come up with the good ideas? Because obviously a lot of people make videos online, but how do these guys actually hit, you know, these really good videos, as you can see here, 11x, 16x, stuff like that. And this is kind of the process, which again is taken from William Brown, but most importantly, like Jordan Welch, because he has a program where he speaks about this, and he has a very good solution to finding good ideas and essentially stealing ideas from competitors and stuff like that, and really finding the videos that pop off, especially on YouTube, right? But you would do the same thing on Instagram. So step one is just, again, really understanding your ideal client. Like, who are you actually making videos for? So you can do this by, you know, obviously doing market research in your actual audience. So you can ask these questions to people on stories, like community posts on YouTube. You can even talk to them in the DMs, just getting a really good sense of like, who is actually following me on my accounts? Like, who am I actually making content for? Like, who resonates with my stuff? And then making more of the stuff that these guys want to see, right? The right offers, the right content, stuff like that. You can even ask your existing customers, if you already have a customer base, you can ask them like, why did they join? What stood out? Anything that they know now that would potentially like influence their buying decision? Did they get the results they came for? Blah, blah, blah. And then you can also obviously just write down everything you know about your ideal client. Like, how old are they? What did they do for work? You know, are they a serious person? Are they like older, younger? You know, what humiliates them? What's their fear? What's their desire? What do they actually want to achieve? And if you know all of these things, it's going to be very easy to find ideas to come up with when it comes to content. So that's like step number one, really understanding who you're actually making the content for. And then step number two is just finding other people that make good videos and taking their like ideas and kind of like using that idea into your own content. So this is kind of like what Jordan Welch teaches, where it's like, as you can see here, this video did 100x of the channel average. Like, don't delete social media, do this instead. So a good idea would be, if you're a trader, you could do like, hey, don't stop, like don't quit trading, do this instead, or don't quit drop shipping, do this instead, or don't run ads, do this instead, whatever. And this would have a good chance of actually, hitting hard, because it's already a proven concept of a video. So the headline, again, intentional. And how you can do this is download this extension on just like Chrome. So it's free, and you're going to be able to see the like axis of the video, so like the outliers in the video. So as you can see over here, this video has 100x. So this video did 100x more than the channel average, which tells us that this video was a really good video on this channel. So chances are, if you take that concept and you pair it with your ideal client and what you have to sell and what you have want to basically make a video about, and you pair these with like a good headline, a good thumbnail based off the video that did really well, chances are this video will do well for you as well. And then you can just add all of these guys. You can do some market research, find videos you like, and just add them into a list. So when you're able to make videos, or when you're supposed to make videos, you can just go into this list, come up with an idea, and then pair it with like a video that's done well before. And now you have a winning recipe for, a video that have potential to actually go ballistic, essentially, on YouTube. And you would do this, you can do the same thing on Instagram, obviously, just looking at what other people are doing, kind of seeing what type of hook, what type of thumbnail, what type of headline, what type of all of these things works, and then just kind of like do the same thing. And then step number 3 would be to just have a place to add all of this stuff in. So you can use Notion, you can use the like Notes app on your phone. But the point is, just if you get any ideas, if you see anything, just track them down, put them into a sheet, and then also track the actual performance of the videos, right? So if you get 10 videos out, track the performance after a few weeks and see which video did well, which video didn't do so well. And then from there, you're able to make better videos in the future. So that's basically what most of these guys are doing when it comes to making videos, right? William Brown speaks about this, like I said, Jordan Welch, stuff like that. And then how do they actually track their stuff? Because if they make all of these videos, they book in calls, let's say, 100 calls a month, stuff like that. Like, how do they actually know where the calls are coming from? And how do they know like the close rate, the appointment booking rate, which content does like good, like which content performs, stuff like that. And this is kind of what they do. So as you can see here, inside of all of these guys' links, they have this called like a UTM source. So when you click this link and book in a call, it's going to show up inside of Calendly for William Brown that you came from his IG bio or YouTube bio or whatever you say, right? So you can even put the name of the YouTube video behind here, and you're going to be able to see like IGDM, YouTube old video, this YouTube video, this video, IG bio, and you're able to actually track like, where am I actually booking calls from? So you can just use this like it's a website, or even if you have like ClickFunnels, I think they track it for you, or you can use like some native stuff inside of their platform. But if you just if you search up like URL like UTM source, you're able to just put in your website and then a UTM source, and again, this automatically shows up inside of Calendly. So now you're able to see, where am I actually booking calls from? Which video actually booked me calls? Are people booking in from this video or that video? Which video should I make more of? Because this one booked in a lot of calls, for example. And then from here, obviously, just tracking everything. So tracking the conversion rate of the VSL. So how many visitors you get on a monthly basis, how many calls you book, what is the conversion rate? And the conversion rate should be around like 5%. So like, 5 to 8% conversion rate is a good conversion rate. 2%, it's not so good. And then obviously tracking how much money you make from the VSL on a given month. And then when it comes to sales, obviously tracking close rate, no-show rate, cancel rate, qualification rate, all of these things, just making sure that you know what's up on the calls. So you can, again, optimize your funnel, optimize your sales process based off of the feedback that you do get. And then when it comes to appointment setting, just tracking like on a daily basis what the appointment setter does. So you're able to see like, what's the reply rate for messages we do send? What's the pitch to booking rate? So if we pitch a call, how many of these people actually end up booking a call? What's the total appointment booking rate? So if we if we have 100 conversations, on average, what's the percentage of these people that end up booking in a call? And then what's the qualification rate, stuff like that. So again, just tracking everything so you know what's up. And yeah, if you do all of this, you should be in a very good situation to, have good videos, get traffic, nurture that traffic, and then book in a lot of calls. So that's it.